Hey, come here. You like pro wrestling? We got a little something for you. Two fans, 3,000 miles away. We each been watching for more than 30 years. Celebrate the art form, the action, the homoeroticism. We ain't rating matches. We ain't analyzing stories. We ain't experts. We just sit down, shut up, and mark out! Welcome, everybody, to another glorious edition of Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out, a pro wrestling podcast about pro wrestling. I'm Blade Daily, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, Joshi G. Joshi, how are you doing?
Yo, thanks for that wonderful introduction. I'm doing well. Things are going smoothly. Summer's coming to an end soon. Sad times, but that's okay. I don't like when it's too hot anyway. As for what I've been up to, so I finished 1984.
Did you love Big Brother at the end?
Oh, of course.
The ultimate shot to the head?
I would give my heart to him. No, I hate him. It's just crazy. This book came out in 1949, and the fact that it's still relevant today is really scary. I mean, George Orwell was a prophet, and this was before the invention of the internet.
You should go on a YouTube deep dive on George Orwell, because there are so many stories about him, and I don't know which of them are true and which are not. I'm going to make it a point to do the same thing.
Let's do it.
1984 was a very formative book for me as a kid. It was like, I have a huge hardbound copy of 1984 with
nice.
all of Orwell's original notes. So it's like it's his manuscript, basically. I've only looked at it a few times, but I've had it for like 25, 30 years. So very, very cool. Very cool. Before we start this episode, I simply want to say to everybody, thank you so much for supporting our podcast. It is really the coolest thing I'm doing in my life right now. I love talking with Joshi. We have always talked about wrestling, though. We talked about wrestling a lot before we did this podcast. But the support and the friendship and the kind of constant influx of ideas that we get from this community of people who listen to the show, it really means the world to me. And I know it does to you too, Joshi. And
of course,
we just want to thank you guys. Thank you so much. Joshi G, this is a all-in preview and predictions episode. And let's get right into it.
Let's go.
All right. So, in the 0 hour, we have one match announced. The winner of this match gets to pick a stipulation for the match that's going to happen at All Out. It is a tag match featuring Willow Nightingale and Big Tom Tomohiro Ishii versus Chris Statlander and her mega scary partner, Stokely Hathaway.
I'm having a hard time with this one. I kind
of feel like they're gonna have Stokely pin Ishii. I almost kind of believe that could happen.
I could see it happening, but that would be so sad. I hope it doesn't.
It would be sad, but I think Ishii would find it funny if they did go that route.
That's true. For now, I'm going with Chris and Stokely, but I'm really 50-50 on this, I Blade. What about you?
I think I'm going Chris and Stokely as well. I think that when you do pick your stipulations, I think it usually makes more sense for the heel to pick the stipulation.
Yeah.
So, this feud's been on ice for a while. We talked about it a while ago that they would have to heat it up again. Seems like a way to do that. And they're going to be fighting for the CMLL women's title at All Out. So that should be interesting. And would love to see a really cool stipulation match. These ladies are both so good. I've loved Statlander as a heel. She seems much more confident on her promos and stuff. I mean, she does really nailing it. And it's always fun to see Stokely wrestle. And the first minute that you see Stokely and Ishii in the ring together, that's going to be fucking hilarious.
It's going to be hilarious, and I do think that Chris is going to walk away with that belt at All Out.
At CML, the CMLL title?
I think so.
I think so too. I have a feeling. But there really isn't much set up for All Out, so this will get us started. Will get us started. Hopefully in the future, there will be a greater distance between these two shows. Okay. So I think this is on the main card, though I would prefer it, honestly, to be on the 0 hour. We have a match for the FTW Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Hook versus Chris Jericho. I got to be honest, I don't give a fuck about this match at all.
Me neither, dude.
I like the learning tree, and even that is kind of wearing out for me. Jericho is trying to make this anti-Jericho sentiment part of his character. And 99 out of 100 times I've seen him make it work. And for a minute there, it looked like this was going to work too. And now it's not working.
I think it would have worked a lot better if he would have taken time off.
Mm-hmm.
And when he, come back from being on hiatus, then he would present the learning tree. I think that would have worked a lot better.
Yeah.
The problem with Chris is the fans have been wanting him to leave since December, and he just keeps staying, and he's on TV every week, and it's dragging on and on. To be honest with you, when I watch Dynamite now or Collision and I see him, I'm not interested in him at all. And that sucks. But it's also one of those things where, dude, read the room, Moxley took time off. You could do it too.
It's a read the room situation.
But as for my prediction, what I'm hoping for is that Hook wins the belt and then Chris takes time off.
Yeah. Yeah. What I could see also would be Jericho losing and Big Bill and Brian Keith turning on him.
Yeah, that could happen.
Because I don't want them to be stuck with Jericho. So if he's not on TV, they're not on TV. You know what I mean?
Fair point. Yeah, that's true.
Really, the point of this group should be to elevate those two guys, and they need to kind of start getting around to that. Because honestly, Big Bill could be a big star if they just had him on TV regularly, talking on TV regularly. He's been the highlight of the learning tree, honestly. And I think Jericho honestly needs to be gone for a while. Have Big Bill and Keith turn on him and put him out for a while,
And Big Bill could become part of that meat division that we want.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Moving on, the London Ladders match for the Trios title. This is going to be wild. We got 4 trios. There is a spoiler upcoming, folks. So if you don't want to be spoiled, fast forward for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. We got the House of Black, the Patriarchy, the Bang Bang Gang, and as will soon be revealed on Collision, Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta. Very interesting matchup.
It is.
Very interesting matchup. I think Kill Switch is going to be a lot of fun to watch in this match because him and Brody King are like 2 big dudes. Claudio as well is kind of a big dude in his own right. Juice Robinson is going to be a total clown, and I think it's going to be great. You've got Buddy and Malachi who can bump quite a lot. The Guns are both going to be bumping all over the place. Nick Wayne, going nuts. I think this is a total toss-up. I have absolutely no idea who could possibly win this. So I'm just going to take a shot in the dark. And I'm going to say the Bang Bang Gang.
Good choice. So a couple of things. First off, I will give credit to Christian Cage. As soon as I feel like a belt in AEW is becoming kind of boring, he makes it interesting again. And he has done a great job with the trios belts. I don't know how Christian does it. This is why he is one of the best ever. He did this with the TNT title. Now with the trios titles. I mean, I remember a few months ago I was saying, the trios titles, they're not really that significant right now. And boom, Patriarchy wins them, and now they're significant. So as for the match itself, I do think that Killswitch will finally turn on Christian Cage. As for the winners, this one's hard. It's got to be Bang Bang Gang or House of Black. Now, who do I think will win? To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know. But I can tell you who I want to win, and that's House of Black. I actually really want the belts back on those guys. In my opinion, to this day, I still think they were the best trios champions. And I wouldn't mind seeing them with that gold again. I love the Bang Bang Gang. I love Juice, and I love the Gun Club, but it wouldn't disappoint me if House of Black won those belts back.
Now, one bit of talk around this match is interesting pairing Pac with Yuta and Claudio. There's been some people speculating, is he going to end up in the BCC? Pac, now that the Lucha Bros appear to be goners and Death Triangle would be no more.
I think that would be really cool, actually. He'd
would
fit
kind
in.
of make perfect fucking sense.
Yeah.
I think of all the wrestlers you can think of on that roster to add to the BCC, Pac is maybe the one. I could also see him being a lone wolf, But Pac in the, BCC.
Listen, as long as Pac doesn't get pinned, and that's not going to happen because at All Out, he's going to challenge the winner of the international belt. As long as he continues, as long as he freaking gets a big push, I'm fine with whatever. I just love this guy. He can be gone for a year, but the minute he comes back, I get super excited. Mm-hmm. He has the best freaking accent in the world. I love hearing him talk. I love everything about him, okay? So just give him whatever the heck he wants. You know how I feel about the Lucha Bros leaving. I mean, it does look that way at this point, It
does.
It doesn't look good, but it is what it is. I'm coming to terms with it. But man, treat Pac like freaking gold because nobody else looks like him. Nobody else sounds like him. He is so damn unique.
I'm going to change my pick, actually. I think Pac and Yuta and Claudio will win this match. And that will be the story is now that they're the trios champions, is Pac going to be a part of the Blackpool Combat Club?
That would work, too.
I think that's how you would weave that story. And, we can go on and on about this match. We'll move on in just a sec. One thing I do got to say is Brody King feels a little wasted to me right now. He had such a great showing in the Continental Classic, and they kind of let that momentum just fall to the wayside. I would really like to know, are they going to be a trio or are they just kind of whatever, And I don't like the whatever. I want them to be a trio or singles guys or something. But
me too.
Get Brody on this TV more often, goddammit.
He rules.
He does. He rules so much. Big bad Brody King. All right. We've also got a casket match.
Yes.
A casket match. Last year we had a casket match, and it was Christian and Swerve versus Darby and Sting. And Swerve got put in the casket, and he said he spent 2 weeks in that casket. And it's what turned him into the final version of Swerve that we ended up getting. Do you think, Joshi, that there's a chance that we might see Darby lose a casket match for the very first time?
Man, this one too. I'm really torn. I'm really 50-50 on this one. I don't know. I'm hoping that Sting comes out with Darby because, we've heard that Sting will be at All In, so that would be awesome. But as for Darby losing, on the one hand, if Jack Perry is not going to defend that TNT belt much, put it on Darby. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, is it too soon to take it off of Jack, like, I don't know. This is a thing about All In this year. I don't find it very clear. Like, there are maybe a couple of matches that I'm sure of,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part, I just keep telling myself, I don't know. Which is interesting. This doesn't
It is
usually
not
happen.
a predictable card. No, it's not. And AEW clearly heard that critique that a lot of people offered, which was, for me, it was actually kind of fun to feel like I could see into the future, right? But it's a lot more fun, honestly, when you don't quite know. And there are a lot of matches on this show that could go either way.
Yeah.
I would say for this match, I'm going to pick Jack Perry.
Okay.
Because the loser doesn't have to be pinned.
True.
Which made me think Darby might win. And because Sting, if he's there, could get involved somehow. Maybe to counter interference from somebody else. I kind of had the thought maybe Darby could win it and then Jack Perry could win it back at All Out.
Right.
Which I think is possible. But I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say Jack Perry retains.
Well, you know what? Did you read that AEW is supposedly planning to put the world title on Darby Allin?
I heard they were discussing it.
They were discussing it, right? So if that, I don't know, because if that is the plan, let's say, then why does he need the TNT belt?
Well, right. And I mean, it's kind of like Hook with the FTW title. Like, who cares? Like,
who cares? Yeah.
Darby's held the TNT title twice, 3 times. I mean, a number of times. I saw him win it one time.
Yeah.
But I don't think he needs that title anymore. He needs to either be that guy who doesn't need a belt or progress towards the world title or the international title,
I agree with you. You know what? I'm 50-50 on this, but I'm going with Jack too.
Yeah, I think Jack beating Darby, being the first guy to beat Darby in a coffin match is something that can use as a resume builder for him. And they've really protected Jack since he's been back. And man, has he lived up to it. I mean, the dude's building his own fucking belt now. Did you see that video?
I did see that video.
Wasn't that fucking really awesome?
It was
that
really
belt
awesome.
Looks dope.
It does.
But even that doesn't tell you who's going to win because Darby could hold that same fucking title. It looks like it was made for Darby.
You don't know. This is really tough, dude. Like, I don't think anyone's going to get entire card right. Like, they're going to predict everything correctly. I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. All right. Well, that's what we got. So we're both picking Jack Perry.
Yes, let's freaking do it.
But I love these guys having a rivalry, and I love these guys kind of having a career-long rivalry because they're the pillars, and neither one of them thinks the other one deserved to be where they're at, and they kind of have this bitterness towards each other. Very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Agreed.
We got a Casino Gauntlet match.
Yes.
And because Will Ospreay almost certainly will not be in this match, he's probably not going to win this match. So there's been 2 already, and Will Ospreay won both of them. This match, anything could happen. Another spoiler, so move ahead if you don't want to hear any potential spoilers. It was reported by Fightful Select in the last few days that Ricochet has apparently signed a multi-year deal with AEW and has told people that he will be in London. This seems like the spot you'd bring him out in, does it not?
Absolutely. Makes most sense.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy will be first in the match. We know that. Then I had said this seems like a match that would be a good match for people to return at who can. And I personally would love to see the return of my man, Bandito.
Yes, please.
Please give us Bandito.
We miss him so much.
But we asked you guys on our threads who you thought might make a comeback. And we had In It Bab said Adam Cole, baby.
Maybe.
The cold canvas said Keith Lee. Hopefully he's physically able to.
Yeah, poor guy.
We got a Scorpio Sky in there. Glacier Peapod said Glacier's coming back. Our homie Neon Ghost said, I would also, so Neon Ghost had a number of suggestions. I would like to see Ricky Starks return with a full-on Jean-Claude Van Damme mullet, denim jeans and shirt, cowboy boots, rocking the hard target knocking out a snake with a punch to the head gimmick. Cole Canvas picks Miro. TGE 661 picked Wardlow. Neon Ghost then says, I'd also like to see Adam Cole return with that lump on his forehead, just like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jeez. Van Damme fan.
Ms. Malaki said, give me some Adam Cole. Nivlak Samaj said, first choice is Cope, but it's highly unlikely. Second choice, Adam Cole. Neon Ghost, once again.
Another one.
Says, I'd like to see Kenny Omega return with a full-on Jean-Claude Van Damme fire chief who has to save the vice president from a group of Terrys who kidnapped him during a hockey game while neglecting his own children's sudden death gimmick.
That's so
I was
silly.
dying reading this shit. The Troy LaCroix, Jake in his purple hat. Super Awesome Junior said Peter Avalon, baby.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, Neon Ghost back in town with, I'd like to see Jonathan Moxley return, but in a full Jean-Claude Van Damme Bloodsport gimmick.
Of course.
Super tight biker shorts, red sash belt, barefoot, pretending to be blind, and screaming like a maniac every time he hits somebody in slow-mo. The Chris Farrell says Adam Cole, baby. Mod Revolve picked Jay White. Neon Ghost says, I'd like to see Miro return, but with a full-on Jean-Claude Van Damme kickboxer dancing in a bar in Thailand gimmick. Tyro Press said CM Punk. I don't think that's going to happen.
Absolutely not.
Papa Jeremy said Fuego del Sol. Natalia Rock 666 says Bandito.
Yes.
Royal R. Lee says, sorry, I want to see someone get spine busted to oblivion, and shared a picture of Powerhouse Hobbs. And that's it on the sit down, shut up, mark out threads. So a lot of people with a lot of different ideas about who could be showing up in this match. What's a far out pick for you? I think the farthest out one I could pick is Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I'm talking like
too.
crazy, no way it's going to happen kind of pick. I could see Michael Oku.
Drew McIntyre.
He's signed, though. Becky is
I know,
signed.
I'm just messing. Because they were saying he might leave. Bobby Lashley. Right. No, I'm just messing around. But
Lashley's a possibility.
I was thinking about Michael Oku, actually, as well. I think that's probable. Who's really unlikely?
Goldberg.
Goldberg. That's a good one, actually. But as for like the winner, I mean, how do we even determine that right now? I
have a theory.
Okay, tell me.
His name is Hangman Adam Page.
Oh, yeah, he's part of the Gauntlet match. Casino Battle Royal, sorry. No, you're right.
The Casino Gauntlet, He announced his candidacy. He's the only one besides Orange Cassidy that's announced. I believe Kyle O'Reilly will be in it. I believe Roderick Strong will be in it. Hangman Page will be in it. I think Ricochet will be in it.
Oh, yeah.
I think I thought Pac would be in it, but I think they want to put Pac somewhere where he's going to win. That's why I changed my pick in the trios match. So I think Hangman's going to win it, and then he either gets a shot at Swerve if Swerve wins, or it's him and Danielson. And there's all sorts of that's the match I really want to talk about later. But I think Hangman's going to win. Okay,
you know what? I'm going with Hangman as well, and I'm changing my pick for the trios match. I'm going with Pac and Claudio and Wheeler as well. Screw it, because Pac's not losing. Yeah, you're right.
See, your boy played Daily. He'll lead you. He'll lead you in the right direction sometimes. We'll see.
I'm still torn, but it's very possible.
We'll see if I'm correct. Yeah. I don't know that I am.
You're costing me nothing.
Costing you dozens and dozens of wishes.
All this money.
Hopes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't endorse gambling on wrestling.
Yeah, we're not gambling, but I'm just messing around. Yeah, maybe like $5, but
yeah, $5.
$5. American.
You know what? I'm a big fan of you betting on wrestling and just sending the money to me either way. We got a triple threat for the tag team titles.
Yep. Yeah.
Haven't been a fan of how we got here. I got to be honest. The Acclaimed versus FTR versus Young Bucks. Partly hurt by the lack of Young Bucks.
Yeah, it's true though.
I've liked seeing the Acclaimed with a harder edge.
Me too.
I've liked less rapping. I like Max Caster's raps, but I think it's been good for him to get away from it so that he's cutting better promos that have more edge to them.
For sure.
FTR haven't felt like much, to be honest. They are an incredible tag team. The Young Bucks, my favorite all-time tag team, period. FTR is like in the top 3, top 5, something like that. Young Bucks are my number 1. I have a far-out prediction for this match.
Go, go, go.
I think Max Caster might turn on Bowens. And I think he is kind of designed to join the Elite. The Max Caster character is almost like too much of a perfect fit. So it's a theory because of the way he talks about himself, because of that fucking mustache.
I know.
It kind of seems like he's taking the spotlight off of Bowens in their promos a lot. So I kind of feel like Max Caster might be turning heel.
That's what I was thinking too, I Blade. But can they afford losing a tag team, if you know what I mean? Not in the sense that they're leaving the company, but because I'm with you. Like, ever since early July, I was telling myself, oh man, Caster's totally turning heel, right? But now that, you know, the Lucha Bros are leaving and whatnot, is it a good idea to split up the Acclaimed? I mean, I think it should still be fine, but it's just that, like, the tag team division doesn't have as much depth, right?
Well, I actually don't. I don't think it's the depth that's actually the problem in the tag team division, because you have MXM Collection who could slide right into that spot that the Acclaimed are in and get just as over as the Acclaimed. They are fantastic, okay? But you also have the Gates of Agony. You also have the Guns, who have just been kind of running in place for a long time now. You have several other teams that I think are very, very viable, good tag teams that just, you know, top flight. They just don't get the rub.
True.
That I feel they deserve and that they need. So we'll see. We'll see. It may not be at all out or all in, but I feel like there's a turn coming for Max Caster relatively soon.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I still think it's going to happen. So yeah, I think that it might happen at All In, the heel turn. And my prediction is that FTR wins the tag belts, which I think is probably a good idea. And they put over a team like Top Flight. It needs to happen. And I also wanted to mention real quick, man, I forgot the name they go by now. But since we were talking a little bit about the tag team division, the guys who used to be, they used to go by Bear Country.
Oh,
I forgot the new name.
Fuck.
Crap. I don't remember the name. But
Bronson, and they're always talking about
nipples. But these guys dropped this gimmick. I don't like it.
With Jack Johnson?
Yes, drop it. These guys are actually really, really good. They're big dudes. You know, I remember when I first saw them live, I thought, whoa, these guys are a really great tag team, actually. Drop this goofiness.
The Iron Savages.
That's it, the Iron Savages. Repackage them and make them just like a serious team that could win those tag belts.
It's a go-nowhere gimmick that they got right now.
That could win the tag belts anytime. Like, it'd be like, hey, maybe they have a good chance of winning at some point. Because right now, I'm not feeling it. And, I mean, they're constantly losing and pinching their nipples. It's just not working, you know?
It's a comedy team that's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
And you've really communicated to the fans that they're losers.
Exactly. And I don't like it because I don't think those guys are losers at all.
Yeah, no, I think they're talented wrestlers. It'll be interesting.
Yes.
We got a TBS title match.
Yep.
With Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Mercedes Moné. And obviously Camille will be part of the festivities. What are we thinking here? What are we thinking?
Look, for me, Mercedes is winning this match. Okay?
I agree.
I just don't see her losing the belt to Baker right now, especially not after Baker got her ass suspended. I don't think you reward somebody like that, you know? And Mercedes has really elevated that belt. I feel like she can do so much more with it. I want to see her put that belt on the line against Jamie Hayter. I want to see her have a rematch with Shida. There's so much more I want to see her do, you know, with that belt. So for me, I'm thinking it's going to be Mercedes, and I think it should be. Like, I think if you're going to put it on Britt, I think you're making a mistake, especially after, you know, what's been going on, you know, because you can't. Listen, I like Britt. I think that when it comes to, you know, her mic skills and character work, she's very good. As a wrestler, she's average, okay? I'm sorry, Britt fans. I do like her, but dude, like, you've been wrestling for a long time. Your wrestling skills should be better at this point.
There's a lot of average workers that ended up being big stars. You know, you know, you don't need to be the best at everything, right? So like,
oh no, like, I totally agree with you, iBlade, but it's more the fact that not only is she not one of the best female wrestlers in AEW, she also has problems backstage. You know what I mean? Like,
way.
Right. And it's like she wasn't there for, like, live, you know, for 2 weeks because of that. And it's like, if you were to put the belt with her, hopefully these backstage incidents don't happen again. But we don't know that it won't. And then what are we going to have, like, a situation like interim TBS championship? Like, no. You know, I mean, I don't want that crap. I
don't think that's even happening.
No,
I mean, I
know. But, like, you know what I mean? Just to say, I don't trust her right now. I just don't.
I don't think logistically New Japan would want their strong champion losing on the biggest show of the year before she's even defended that belt. So
makes no sense.
I think it has to be Mercedes winning this match, probably through some heel shit. I've seen a lot of people. I initially thought that possibly Jamie Hayter would come out after Britt lost to defend Britt. It's since come out. There was a clip of Sean Ross Sapp saying that interpersonally, Britt and Jamie aren't friends anymore, or kind of alluding to that, so that maybe they wouldn't be working together. So I have a different theory, which is that Saraya comes out after this match or at some point during this show, shoots her mouth off about not getting her Wembley moment. She'll take on any of these girls from the back, and Jamie Hayter's music hits. She comes out and she squashes Saraya.
That has to happen. Come on.
The Outcasts are the one who in kayfabe put her out of business. You know,
I've been saying this for months.
Yes.
This has to happen. This is the perfect opportunity for Jamie to come back. It has to be an open challenge. And it's got to be against Saraya. They're both Brits. And it would just be beautiful. It would be amazing for the crowd in London. It would be amazing for us watching from home. We miss Jamie. And if she's not friends with Britt anymore, that's totally fine. Just have her squash freaking Saraya. I'm totally fine with that, man. Like, come on. Like, I feel like it's been leading up to this for a while with Saraya's promos on Rampage and whatnot and segments. Like, come on, man. We want it, and we want it on Sunday. No excuses, yo.
Yeah, I mean, if she's cleared and she's ready to come back, she should come back.
Hopefully, yeah. I hope so.
All In would be the time.
Yeah. But, question, iBlade. If Jamie's not coming back, let's say help Britt Baker from a beatdown after her match with Mercedes, who comes out to help Britt?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Is Megan Bain signed yet? She's still wrestling indies, so
yeah.
You know,
I was
who's
thinking
to say?
about Megan.
But I think that, you know, is Britt in more trouble than we know? And she goes and has a longer suspension after this match. Who knows?
We don't know.
I don't know.
It's true. You're right. Yeah.
But what I do know is that there's an AEW international title match. I refuse to call it the American title. Okay. MJF in his mega gimmick.
Oh my God.
Versus Will Ospreay after a pretty glorious face-to-face that they had this week on Dynamite. Where they really squared off and got to the root of this feud. Where MJF snaps at Ospreay and says, "They loved me until you came along and ruined it."
Oh, Max, I still love you.
Well, I think, it does. MJF has always done this. I thought went a little too far with it last year, but he's always done this where he threads a needle to show you that there is a motivation underneath the dickishness. He's not just a dick. He's a dick for a reason. He's an insecure, scared man. And he manifests his hatred towards us so that we can't reject him first. And he felt rejected by our embrace of Will Ospreay. And so he rejected us again.
Right.
And, clearly saw Danny Garcia as some kind of obstacle to that as well. So the question is, who wins? I think there's no fucking way anything but Will Ospreay winning happens in this match. I've seen a number of people predict that MJF will win.
No.
Because it would be nuclear heat. And it would, but I think it's the wrong kind of nuclear heat.
No, not in London, man. It's got to be Ospreay.
A British hero.
Exactly. I'm going with Ospreay too. I don't see it going the other way. I think it's also very probable that Daniel Garcia comes back and confronts MJF. I'm thinking there's actually a really high possibility of that happening.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really loved that face-off from Dynamite. I thought that MJF did an excellent job. Ospreay was great too. They were both amazing, but that's the MJF that I want to see,
That's MJF at his very best as a
exactly. It's like, yes, he brought up Ospreay's significant other and all that, but it worked in this case.
It did.
So
it did.
I just thought
deeply personal. It felt like he was going into I hope MJF cleared this with Ospreay before he said it, which he clearly did.
He twisted the knife, but it was in a really perfect way. And it just made me love Max. So, Max, we still love you, dude. You're the one that turned on us, man. But anyways, Ospreay's totally walking out champion. I don't see it going any other way.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
This one I'm sure about.
Yes. And the next one I feel pretty sure about too, which is the women's world title match. And that features the Glamour, Mariah May, versus Timeless, Toni Storm. Toni Storm, she of the absolute burn the world to the ground promo that she cut on the feature that she released on Collision last week. Absolutely incredible. This is the story of the year.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best story in pro wrestling this year. In my opinion, I don't even think it's remotely close. Mariah May is about to become a new kind of star.
Oh, man. Yes.
And Toni Storm is going to go from being a top star to being a legend. And I think it will culminate in this match. All they got to do is have a halfway decent match, and it's done. It's done. So really, the only question is who you got. I'm going Mariah May.
This story has been perfection from the beginning until now. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't want to see it end, but it has to.
I know.
You don't want it to drag on, and sometimes it's one of those things. It's like when you really love a show, like Breaking Bad was my show. When they had announced that it was coming to an end, of course I was sad. But let me put it this way: would you prefer that a show ends when it's really, really good, or do you want it to drag on and then you don't think as much of it, right? So that's how I feel about Mariah Toni. This is the right way to end this feud, as much as it kind of hurts because I love this feud so much. But I just have to give credit to everybody involved in this rivalry. I've been invested from the very beginning. We knew how amazing Tony was, but seeing Mariah as a newbie, come in and shine the way she has, and cutting these really amazing promos and just being so aggressive in the ring and just showing that, like, yeah, man, she's going to be a huge star. I'm so proud of her. I love Tony. Man, like, this is hard, I just love this rivalry so much, and I feel like I'm gonna get emotional. But
Well, I totally agree with you. I think the Breaking
Yeah.
Bad comparison is perfect because Breaking Bad is such a great show because they ended it when they told the story they came to tell. They didn't try to drag it out because they were getting great ratings. They actually were getting the highest ratings they'd ever gotten in the last season.
Yeah.
And they still ended it because they had told the story. And I think that's what Mariah and Tony have done.
And we got that amazing Better Call Saul sequel.
Absolutely.
Prequel sequel.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I can't praise this feud enough, but I'm going with Mariah. Makes the most sense. She's, she's British. I do want the Brits to walk away with belts. And I do think that Mina will help her win the belt. I do think that's happening. Now, what happens to Toni Storm after this rivalry? I am not sure. Is she taking time off? I don't know. But man, it's going to be interesting to see, what they both do after the end of this rivalry. So yeah, I'm just really stoked. Like, this is a match, to be perfectly honest, that I'm most looking forward to. And along with that, the main event, which we'll talk about momentarily. So,
by the way, I think Mina will definitely be involved in the finish of this match. I think her and Mariah will end up together. And Mina's wrestling on Rampage tonight.
Yeah.
So she's going to be involved in AEW going forward on some level. So
my girlfriend.
Absolutely. I fucking love Mina, man. Everybody loves Mina. Everyone wants Mina. We want Mina, baby.
We want Mina, baby.
Last match. No Brits involved, so it's very unpredictable. It's the final countdown match. It's title versus career. Challenger, putting his career on the line, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, the greatest wrestler of the 21st century to this date, versus Swerve Strickland, man on the rise, absolute fucking Jedi, hero to millions, and rapidly growing. I might be exaggerating slightly, but whatever. Fuck you. This could go so many different ways. And what I like about it is it really could go so many different ways. You could have an unhinged Hangman get involved.
Yep.
Try to cost Swerve the title, or try to cost Danielson the match, but accidentally cost Swerve the match. Danielson wins the belt. You could have Hangman not be involved at all. You could have Danielson win the title, and at Wrestle Dream in Tacoma, Swerve's hometown and Danielson's home state, have Danielson's last full-time match, and Danielson loses the title back to Swerve. That's one thing that could happen. That's what I'm hoping happens, because I'll be at that show.
Exactly. You're being selfish. No,
I am being selfish. Fucking AEW belongs to me. It's booked for me.
Of course it is. And to me.
Booked for me and Joshi G.
And for me, yes.
Because we agree on pretty much everything because we're Wrestle Twins.
Of course we do. We were separated at birth, but yes.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm Italian. Okay, so Joshi, who you got?
Man.
Hold on. Let's back up just for a sec.
Okay.
Swerve has done a masterful job.
Yeah, he has.
He has elevated his game. He is cutting world heavyweight champion main event promos He is playing the heel in this feud. But really, he's just playing mind games. And as you said in our last episode, Swerve just hasn't changed.
No.
He didn't just become like a, oh, yay, come on, everybody, let the best man win, babyface loser. Okay?
No Barney shit here.
Yeah, that's not what we wanted Swerve for. He didn't John Cena himself, you know?
No.
He's the same fucking dude, and he's trying to play head games with Bryan Danielson. Mental warfare is a huge part of his game. Danielson's promo at the end of Dynamite, where I can't remember him ever doing this. One, he was wearing a shirt very similar to the shirt he wore the first time he retired when he came out.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yes. Significant.
But when he said, just because I don't come out here and talk about myself all the time, doesn't mean I don't know that I'm the best fucking wrestler in the world. And I have been for the last 20 years. You know, that felt really good to hear him say that.
It did.
It felt great to hear him say that. That's like the one immodest thing that Bryan Danielson has ever said.
Right?
And so they have played this perfectly. Does Danielson have it in him to beat Swerve? Danielson believes in himself. Jeff Jarrett has tried to fire him up. Eddie Kingston cut a promo to fire him up. What do you think, Joshi?
Well, okay. I'm going with Danielson. I don't think this is the end. You know, considering that, I don't know, they've been hyping this up to be like his last match. I don't think it will be, you know, like I think they're going to go the other direction. And hopefully Swerve does win it back though. Like that's what I want. I do want him to become champion again because as we had mentioned in a former episode, I'm okay with Danielson winning that belt as long as Swerve wins it back eventually. Let's get that clear, okay? Because like I'm a Swerve girl. And yes, he did look good on Dynamite. Swerve's a handsome dude, okay?
He's a handsome dude. I'm not going to argue with you.
And he's just, you know, as you said, like his mic work has improved so much. He's so confident. He's so comfortable. He's playing the heel part perfectly. Swerve, like, listen, if someone said Swerve is the best in the world, I'd say 100%. Like, I do think he is the best in the world right now. He is the entire package. But having said that, you know, Danielson hasn't won any gold in AEW, and that's sad, man. Like, he's done so much for the company. He's been so selfless. He's part of that disciplinary committee, has had to make some hard decisions. Like, he has put his heart and soul into AEW. So, of course, as a Danielson fan, I would like to see him being rewarded with some gold. Not that he hasn't been rewarded in other ways, but as, you know, viewers, as an audience, when somebody wins something like gold, right, it stands out more. So I definitely want to see him leave with the belt. And even if it's a short title reign, that's okay.
I think it would be a very short title reign.
That's fine.
I do believe that he is hurting, and I do believe that his body is breaking down. And I don't think he would ever. This match, he said that would be his last match if he lost, which tells me he's not losing.
Nah.
So I think I called him the greatest wrestler of the 21st century, and I'll stand by it. Even though Kenny Omega is my GOAT,
he's my GOAT.
Danielson has consistently been the top regarded wrestler in the world for 2 decades. So I think you got to go Bryan Danielson in this match, and I think he drops it back to Swerve and then retires from full-time competition.
And one more thing, I Blade Daily. At All In, Tony, you know what to do. Na-na-na-na.
Oh.
Na-na-na-na-na.
Wouldn't that be so dumb if he called this match the Final Countdown match, which he has, and then they didn't play that song?
Come on, you have to. We're leaving together.
All In ends with Bryan Danielson and Final Countdown playing, and Bryan Danielson holding the world title high, doing the yes stuff, with 50,000 people doing it with him. That's the way this card ends. I am about to end this episode because you got to go. But one thing I wanted to say is this has been the best build to an AEW show ever.
Agreed. Yeah.
There's less matches
Really well
on this
done.
show. They're all going to get a good amount of time, except maybe Saraya getting her ass handed to her by Jamie Hayter. And I think we are all going to love this show. This is so much better put together than last year's.
Oh my God, 100%.
1,000,000%. So I'm super excited. I think
Me too.
Tony, Mariah, Swerve, Danielson, the London Ladders match is going to be super fun. MJF and Ospreay, Mercedes and Baker. Ugh. Darby and Jack Perry. Hook and Jericho.
LFG. Yes.
Hook and Jericho. All right. Well, those are our predictions. We love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. As I said at the top of the show, make sure if you're not that you follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Make sure you follow our YouTube. We are at Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out. And let us know what you think. Leave us a comment and tell us who you think is going to win. Or just watch the thing. Then leave all your predictions after you watch it, but pretend like you haven't watched it yet, and we'll think you're a fucking genius.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Blade Daily.
I'm Joshi G. Da-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. It's the final countdown.
All right. We're out of here. That was free. That's free. You got to pay next time. Bye-bye. Pro Wrestling Forever. Get the hell out of here, Jack Parrott!